Not anymore, no. I don't even think they make them anymore.
Oh, I have a superstition.
Okay.
It's kind of interesting.
Okay.
It's not anything that you would like I physically do.
Okay.
But I think however I feel about my next workday, it's going to be the opposite.
Oh.
And so it kind of gets meta where like I try and think that it's going to be a bad workday so that it comes out being a good workday because I think it's going to be the opposite of whatever I think it's going to be or whatever I feel it's going to be.
Yeah.
Is that weird?
No, I kind of get that though.
So you do that intentionally? You
Yes.
think it's going to be a bad day,
Well, no,
but then
sorry,
do you
when I say it out loud.
accidentally?
It's more like when I say it out loud. When I'm talking to somebody, and because in my head I'm like it's a wash. Like I can't control what I think, right?
Yeah.
But I'm like if I say it's going to be a rough day tomorrow, it might turn out. It's going to turn out to be a great day.
So
maybe
then
it's your
do you accidentally
expectations. It's like-
say it's going to be a good day and then it ends up being bad?
Yeah,
Does it happen
all
the flip
time.
side? You're like it's going to be a good day today.
Fridays are always super easy, and Thursdays are historically like so rough. And so I always like will be like, oh, I can't wait for Friday. Like it's going to be so easy, and then that Friday ends up being way worse than the Thursday before it.
Really?
Or I'll think like, or on Wednesday I'll think like, oh, Thursday's going to be really rough. And then it turns out to be like a really not that bad Thursday, but like. A lot of Thursdays are usually pretty rough. Isn't that interesting? Like the way I think, like the way I say it, and it's usually unconscious. Like I'm talking to my brother or sister, and I'm like, tomorrow's gonna be rough, and then I go, well, maybe it'll be good, or I'm gonna say like tomorrow's gonna be like tomorrow. I'll say like Tuesdays are super easy, and then the next
Mind
Tuesday is
games.
gonna be like it's
wrecked.
so rough.
There's so much work.
This morning before work, I was like, it's going to be a good day. I'm probably going to be put on bar, just making drinks all day, like easy peasy. I got there and I was put on window.
Ugh.
Bleh.
I don't even work at a coffee place, and I just know window has to be the worst
Sucks.
Because you
position.
have to
gotta be
just
the-
talk with so many people.
Oh, except we're supposed to, but I
really?
don't.
Do you think there's anything to that, like mind over matter? Like, do you
Like
think
willing
your
it?
willpower has like,
yeah, like
can you manifest things?
manifestation.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Something.
I'm like 50-50. Like I think a positive attitude, like, you know, when I'm working on new projects that excite me, I think like having a positive outlook helps. But I don't think that saying it's going to be a success over and over and over is necessarily going to make it a success.
Right.
And we've talked about this in the context of social media, you know, like or content creation, because we both are constantly doing that, all of us really. And so it's like, and I always wondered if like, you know, let's take like a side thing. Like let's say you're selling something, you start a business and you're like, oh, macrame, right? Like if Cara pumped sun-kissed macrame in everything and everywhere she went, like she always brought it up and always mentioned it, it would probably be like a huge success. But like at what point do you sacrifice your personal life to make something a success? And I think the same thing in content creation. Like, like your YouTube channel, if you went everywhere and were like, hey, you should check out my YouTube channel, you know, you don't do that. But I'm saying if you did that, you might actually strike a chord. But like at the same time, like at what cost?
It becomes your identity.
Well, if you want it to become your identity, if I was like, yeah, I need to become a full-time YouTuber, then you just do it, right? I mean,
yeah. So I think
so there is power to it. Yeah,
I think because it changes your whole attitude about it.
But
So do you think it's worth it? Like, I don't know, because sometimes it's like, oh yeah, at least with YouTube, it just seems so easy at times. But then at the same time, like you have to fully commit to it. Like you have to kind of like give up a little bit of your like pride too, to be like, okay, I'm actually going to do this. Cause you're like pumping your own content is fully like vulnerable. Like you just feel uncomfortable and like, yeah, I don't know. I just feel like,
well, I think even that's a separate thing too. Cause we're talking about like just willing something. Like if I put out one video and I'm like, this video is going to blow up.
Right.
You know? And then it's like, if I just keep, it's more the mind over matter. Like this is going to be great. Like, and then if it doesn't, it's more like, okay, well, were you setting yourself up for failure or like, did you just not will it hard enough?
The idea of me willing something, like just literally thinking like was kind of in your mind, like really pushing something.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the thing, because I feel like personally, I feel like I've tried to will things to do well and it just don't.
Yeah.
You know, it usually comes down to like hard work or coincidence.
yeah,
you know?
totally.
What do you think about like praying over things?
Whoa.
Good question.
Because let's go there, right?
Like manifesting. Yeah, you're right.
Like I'm gonna pray about something for, usually, well, not you. I shouldn't say usually. Like things that are out of my control, and then what are you doing to like practically doing to also help that?
Well, is that the same like manifesting and like hoping? You know,
Like praying and
Yeah,
hoping.
is prayer hope? Like, yeah,
Like
right?
that can be different.
I think they're intertwined, but I don't think it's the same thing.
I don't know,
There's something like spiritually different about like, okay, I'm laying something at Jesus' feet.
I think the difference, I think it's the posture.
Yeah.
Like when I hope for something or when I'm trying to manifest something on
Yeah.
my own will, like I'm just like, I want this so bad, blah, blah, blah. And I feel like when I'm praying for something, I'm kind of like letting it go. And like in the sense that like, this is what I would want to happen.
Yeah.
But I know that if it doesn't, like there's a better plan for me and I might not see it right away. You know, you're kind of.
I think
like
that's a
thing.
positive way to pray. I don't think that's always
Everybody's
the case.
way.
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean?
You're right. Yeah.
It's kind of the same. Like
I think that's my posture when I go into prayer specifically because I know like. Again, when you're praying about something, it's probably serious, right? Like,
Yeah, of course.
I hope no one's praying for their YouTube video, but if you are, good for you. But
Sure.
you know what I'm saying? So, like, I think in that sense, prayer maybe try to transcend a little deeper. Am I off base there?
I don't know, but like I don't know because sometimes like it just depends on what you're passionate about. Like if you are passionate about your YouTube video doing well, like if you're praying about, I don't know, like if you don't ask for things, you're not like,
Right.
you know, if you're never asking God to help you with the things you're passionate about, like you're not really bringing him into that space. I don't know. It's kind of interesting.
Well, right? Yeah.
Right. Like, because it's almost like, okay, am I petty for praying for this? Like, is this stupid? But at the same time,
But
if
if you're
it's something you
incorporating
care
prayer
about,
into your like everyday life,
yeah, it's like you're
then
bringing
you
him
are
into your
in a lot of ways manifesting things, right? Like,
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Manifest. I think it is down to control because manifesting is like I'm doing this.
Like this is gonna happen.
Whereas like prayer is like I'm giving this to God and like I don't know.
hope for the best.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
That's like
where I
the
was
giving
going
it
with the
away
posture
kind of
thing,
Yeah,
thing,
totally.
you know?
I think it is a posture thing.
Like, because again, if you want something to do well, I don't know that I would pray like necessarily that. Again, if you're taking in the context of like, I'm praying that my YouTube channel takes off because this is something I'm passionate about, and this is something that I think God's calling me to, right? If we're in the realm of religion, you know, and then you know you're praying. I think with the posture of like, hey, I really believe I'm called to this, but if not, like, I know you're going to show me a different way, you know. So, but whereas like if I'm just a non-religious content creator, you're just like, I want to become famous because like this, you know, this would just be so fun, you know. I think there's different postures there.
I think when you're manifesting something too, like your actions also follow that because by manifesting it, it's like you're focusing on it, you know? So I think sometimes like when people are like, oh, I'm manifesting this, it's more of like, I'm focusing on this because then I know everything else in my life, like I'll be working towards that same goal.
So that's an interesting thing too. Like you said, like content creators maybe that aren't like, you know, like aren't Christian, aren't following God, but are successful. Like how do like, you know, there's power in that, right? Like,
Yeah.
what do you
I
think
don't know.
about that?
I think I don't want to get like too far into it because
Yeah.
I think to some degree, I don't know that it's necessarily like the enemy, quote unquote, kind of like trying to sway people in the wrong direction. Because a lot of these big time content creators are like just, in my opinion, just like.
And even further, like, you know, celebrities, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of celebrities.
I mean, yeah, is there such thing as like the enemy? Like, obviously, like, yeah, there's the
Like helping you
devil,
to
But I mean,
succeed.
like, as a human being, like, is there such thing as like an enemy? Because like God, like obviously God created everyone, so like, even if they're not a Christian, like that doesn't mean they don't have like necessarily a relationship with God, whether they know it or not. You know, like depending on when they like meet Jesus or if, you know, they never fully do, like God is still in their lives, you know?
Yeah, of
so whether
course.
or not like they're creating good content, like they're still in the hands of God, I guess.
But I guess that's the big question then. It's like that human psyche, that like, you know, determination, that willpower, even somebody that maybe isn't like a practicing Christian, like can be successful.
But what even is success to God? You know,
True.
like
Yeah,
we
well,
define
you're
success
right.
in a certain way. And it's like, I think a lot of times too, Christians get upset because it's like, oh, why did this really powerful person, like, why are they doing so well for themselves if they're not a Christian? But it's like, what is
well?
doing
Are
well?
they doing well, or are they like, you know,
Yeah, there's plenty of ordinary people
Tom
that,
Cruise
that
that's
would
miserable.
classify their lives as living well or,
Right.
or
Yeah.
doing well in the eyes of God. Yeah, I see where you're going with that. Yeah.
I don't know. It is interesting. And I think it can be frustrating too for Christians because they're like it's so easy living in a broken
Like,
world
life
to
is
like
so easy.
compare yourself to
Yeah.
other people and like if you're not a Kardashian, it's like, well, why am I not a Kardashian?
Like, why isn't God letting me be a Kardashian?
Yeah.
It's like, well, okay, that's
Well, I think it's a hard
obviously
place
not.
too, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think if you're trying to like create, if you want to become a famous YouTuber because you think you're not worth it unless you are, or like your worth is in that,
Yeah.
then your heart's in the wrong place,
Right.
Right, and it has nothing to do with God, you know,
Right.
it's just like a you thing,
Right.
So I think it's a complicated equation,
Yeah.
but
It's a complicated life. I mean,
Yeah.
we're
Amen.
living in a broken world, but it's
Yeah.
like God does have, you know, like he wants well for everyone.
Yeah, I like the posture you
interesting.
take with you know in the regards with YouTube, because I really think like you have the hype of like this everything's gonna be this is gonna be like huge, but at the same time like when it doesn't, you're not like crushed, you know.
Sure.
I don't think
It's
you,
still
like,
small potatoes for me. I'm not putting a lot of money into it, you know.
Yeah, but I don't
if
think
I
you seek your
tomorrow
value.
was like, I'm quitting my job, I'm gonna do content, maybe I'd get psycho, but
Yeah, but
Time will tell.
I don't think you see like you don't see your value in what you do on YouTube. Not at all. I don't think so.
oh, thank you.
YouTube can be
Appreciate
a dangerous place.